Good morning. Hello. Welcome to Homo Sapiens. My name is Christopher Sweeney. I'm delighted to have you here joining me for what is your weekly email and message catch-up. And often you see at this time of day, I'm roaming around the garden showing you that spring has sprung. Well, not today, because it is absolutely freezing. And so I am very safely sat in my study. For those on video, you can see that I'm seated. Woodpecker update. The woodpecker who moved into the wood, trying to move into the bird box, then I changed the bird box to a bigger one to make him happy. He has now left. So I believe the word is fucked it. I am a silly person. So he's now trying to get into just a whole piece of tree. He comes in the morning and he just pecks away at a tree trunk. And I'm like, babes, that's never going to work. That's a fully solid tree. Anyway, so that's a shame. But we are where we are, you know, and nature's going to nature, as they say. But aside from that, how are you all? What's new? We are looking at emails and things today. I'm just going to kick off by saying that a few things to update you on. We have had people applying for gender affirming underwear. So those who would, thank you to those who have got in touch, and those who would like gender affirming underwear, please write to hello@homosapienspodcast.com, and we are raising money to get gender affirming underwear for people. And then those who came on the dog walk last time, we would like you all to come on the next dog walk. I'm going to give you a date. The date is Saturday, the 30th of May. If you came on the dog walk last time, please come. If you did not make it last time, please come. We had such a nice time. It was a very, very nutritious experience, as they say. We just had a gas. We had a wander around. We saw Siobhan McSweeney from Traitors. That was random. We had a little history lesson about the park, which was very impromptu. The whole thing was just great. So I think this time everyone else who can come should come. And I think that'll be wonderful. So it's Saturday, the 30th of May. We meet at 1 o'clock outside Regent's Bar and Kitchen like we did last time. Same. And yeah, come on down. Let us know if you're going to come. Bring your dogs. Also, I just would like to say out loud, you don't have to have a dog. We'll just bring some dogs. That's all. So should we head to the inbox? I think so. Hi, Daniel. Good afternoodles. Lovely to hear from you. Daniel. Have really been enjoying listening to and watching the podcast on YouTube. I've still got a few of the older episodes I'm trying to catch up on. Daniel, you're very kind to be listening. Thank you. I did indeed see the moustache episode with Morgan Rees and believe I was mentioned in my response to the questions. Great episode. Oh, Daniel, yes, I remember this because Daniel has sent in a photo. I'll get to that bit. I asked Daniel to send in a photo of his moustache, and it is a masterpiece. I was trying to decide which photo of my moustache to send and then decided why not make a quick collage of my favorite styles. Thanks again for sharing. The podcast has been a lovely highlight in the week for me. Looking forward to seeing what comes next. All the best, Daniel. Okay, so Daniel has shared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beautiful photos of his moustache, which is like, if you've seen the newer Agatha Christie movies with Kenneth Branagh and his moustache. Daniel, I hope I'm not offending you by saying this, because I imagine there's intricacies to moustaches that I'm not aware of. It's a beautiful moustache, and it's very detailed, big curly things on the end sometimes they're twisted. One, I assume, where you're at Pride, where you've dyed it pink and blue. I mean, come on, I love it. So I'll put that on the socials. And also, we were talking about growing vegetables, weren't we? Why were we talking about, we're eating vegetables, sorry. And Craig wrote in to tell us how he does it. So our last episode was Dr. Gareth Patterson, and he came on to talk about your questions, questions for a GP. The first episode we're doing with him, we kind of talked about PrEP and Doxy-PEP and things like that, which led on to chats about gut health, because Doxy-PEP is basically an antibiotic. So, and then Gareth said, oh, I want to eat 30 plants. We should eat 30 plants a week, which I gently pointed out is quite a lot. How do you do it, kind of thing. And then Gareth was explaining, and that was really helpful. But then Craig wrote in, listening to today's podcast, I'm all for eating 30 plants a week. I've been doing it for a couple of years, and my hacks are get mixed nuts, seeds and berries, and add to salads or soups and yogurt, which gives you 12 plants already. And as well as fruit and veg, herbs and spices count too. I love this way of eating because it's about adding more to the plate. So, Craig, that was very cool. Herbs and spices count. So if I just like sprinkle some mixed herbs, that's 30 veg a week. I mean, just take a swig of the mixed herb pot once a day. No? I know that's not very helpful. Advice, sorry. So terribly interesting, Craig. Thank you for that little tip. Essentially, everyone's about having mixed herbs and not mixed herbs, seeds and things. Can I ask a question? Is a seed a plant? Is it considered a plant because it's the seed of a plant? Could somebody write in and help me with that? We did have, we covered what exactly PrEP is, which was great. That got shared a lot. Because apparently it's it's a very, very Googled thing. I asked this question we were talking about where can you get PrEP from? And Gareth was saying, I hadn't realized this, Gareth was saying you get it from the GUM clinic, which is a sexual health clinic, essentially. And I said, oh, is there a little bit of homophobia in that, posing the question? But Gareth was saying it's kind of actually to do with so that then they can keep an eye on other things. And I do get that. But I do find, that aside, I do find the thing about like gay sexual stuff is considered, I don't know, they just make you feel like it's a bit of an outpost. And actually it's not. It's just, it's as normal as anything else. But when we shared that clip online, a couple of people commented really interesting things, actually. So Chris said it's also about anonymity to a degree, maybe. But they are super friendly places, and the biggest benefit is knowing what vaccinations are also needed. So that's what Gareth was saying. So, there's other things that the GUM clinic can help with. So thank you for that, Chris. He said, totally, the more options, the better. So it's, why not have a GUM clinic and a GP involved with what's going on with you, because then you've got more experts on it. And in some ways, I absolutely see that point. And we should not view GUM clinics as strange places or threatening places. Actually, they're amazing places. When I used to have to go to the GUM clinic, I was always a bit nervous before. What is it? Is it on Dean Street in London? I would go. Is it 76 Dean Street or one of the? I can never remember. It's 56 Dean Street. Don't know. Anyway, it's Googleable. You would sort of you'd have a bit of trepidation before you went in. And actually, super cool people in there. And I would always see someone I know in there because that's me. That's why I could never go to gay saunas, because I'd always be like, hey man. Then Sixpence None the Richard, who I believe works at the Elton John AIDS Foundation, got in touch, which I thought was great. At the Elton John AIDS Foundation, we're piloting a new approach by making PrEP available direct to consumers in Northeast London, including all the tests taken at home. Hopefully this can be one of a number of new approaches rolled out in the next few years. And then he's posted a link to it. So Sixpence None the Richard, thank you for letting us know about that, because it's very interesting to know about this stuff so that we can share it. Comments from people about conferences. So Tag Warner came on and we talked about open relationships. Comments from people about remembering conferences and Grindr being quite busy at a conference. Have you ever had a conference hookup, listeners? hello@homosapienspodcast.com. At Homo Sapiens on Instagram. Write in, tell us your stories. I want to know more about this stuff. I'm nosy. And we also had some people talking about, when we were talking about open relationships and saying, there was a stat that actually only 25% of you are in open relationships. And everybody was surprised. We were surprised. Michael said that I was also shocked by this statistic. And then aid bid said, I think there are a lot of individuals who are in denial of needing a poly relationship. And there's also some folk, not many, who say they're poly, who actually need a monogamous relationship. And then someone said, don't worry, lots of people in monogamous relationships just cheat. I was like, oh, that's true. Not everyone's going to admit to being in a poly, but I suppose that the open relationship we were talking about is the clue is in the title, open, i.e., no one's lying. I was reading about looks maxers this weekend. Has anyone heard of this? So men are changing their jawlines and really getting their body weight, body fat down. We've got Megan Crabb coming on the podcast, actually, and I would be interested to talk to her about this because it's a sort of new version of body issues, and it's men who ask other men to judge them in forums about how they look. It's really interesting. It's kind of, I don't know, scary is what it is. It's scary. We posted a video from the Homo Sapiens launch party asking which celebrity made you queer. And we had Dr. Ranj telling us that it was Kylie Minogue who made him queer. We had Charlie Craggs talking about the Minogues. We had Hunsnet, Gareth from Hunsnet, saying Kylie and Danny. The Minogues have got to a lot to answer for. Kadif Kerwin said Destiny's Child. I mean, all great choices. Alistair said it was Madonna. Absolutely. Madonna was, it's just so weird how she was treated when she was just being vaguely open about sex. And Paul said Wham. It was something about Club Tropicana looked like My People. Yes, it was the glamour, it was the earrings, it was the gloss. I loved that video. Club Tropicana video. If anyone's not seen it, go to YouTube now, have a look at it. Now, do you know what I'm doing today? So James Greenwood, the vet, who co-hosts this series with me, he came on a couple of weeks ago. We recorded a new episode on Friday, and I'm trying to persuade him to move close to me because we were talking about queer parenting, and I was saying how it's really nice if you are a queer parent, you want to have other queer parents near you. So I'm campaigning for James to move down the road from me. Now, I don't know that this is going to work out. However, what I am going to tell you very excitingly is that he is going to look at a house up the road from me. Hello. So he is going to go, and so I'm going to go with him. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn some hypnosis, and that hypnosis will hopefully enable me to hypnotize him into moving close to me, because I just think it'd be amazing. So I'll be keeping you updated on that. It's a very, very cute house in a very, very cute sort of top of the hill with lovely views, and it's amazing around this part of the world. And I went to London the other day, and I'm very aware that not everyone's listening is in London. But it was a bit more south from where I am, I suppose. But all the flowers were out, like all the magnolia trees were out, all the blossom was out. Whereas where we are, is it just cold though? Because we're not in a city, but not, I mean, little flowers are coming out, but there's no blossom on the trees. I'm looking at all the trees, nothing. And I've got a great cherry blossom that I planted this year. I've got a great magnolia tree that hasn't even budded yet. Got a little magnolia bush that is giving me some love, but it's very interesting. Listeners, I've got a few things to say. The Homo Sapiens Dog March. Dog March? Wow. Yeah, let's put a bit of protest into it. It's a dog march, people. The Homo Sapiens Dog Walk is on the 30th of May. I do hope that you can join. Gosh, I'm looking at my diary and it's the week before my local village dog show. I think we should have a Best Dog Award. What do you think? How do you choose though? Why would you want to make one dog feel more special when they're all gorgeous? Tricky. If you would like to receive some gender-affirming underwear, please, or you know someone who would, write in hello@homosapienspodcast.com, at Homo Sapiens on Instagram. It looks like the Not a Phase gig at Wembley went really well, which I was so happy to see. I had a little bit of an insight into how much hard work went into it, and I'm just delighted, and I'm hoping they raised a ton of money and we can all, continue to stick up for our trans brothers and sisters and those who define as needed. Listeners, have a lovely week. I'm going to go and pour some more coffee now. And then I'm going to talk to a doctor. Everything's okay. No one needs to worry. I've got to talk to a doctor about my daughter's cough. That's about it. Alrighty. Sending you all loads of love. And do stay in touch and do send in any of the things I've asked questions about this week. Please write in if you know the answer. Bye for now.